Panther people, what up? Let's talk about the Carolina Panthers who blast, who beat up, who buck up, who fuck up the Bucks, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21-3 at home. What? What's going on? You're watching Panthers Post with Phil Perkins. Thanks for joining. Well. Who knew there was a trade your best player bump? The Carolina Panthers defeat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at home. The former Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers against the GOAT Tom Brady 21-3. Like convincingly beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 21-3. The first thing that I picked up here, not only that, shout out to Steve Wilkes. He coached the hell out of that game. Him and Ben McAdoo and Holcomb, the defensive coordinator for the Panthers, they coached the hell out of that game. The execution on the field by the players was amazing. Hey, literally nobody, including your boy here. I didn't even do a midweek episode previewing this game because I figured the Panthers are going to lose. They're going to be so dejected, blah, 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 blah. I literally did a name your rookie quarterback for next year episode. But then right after that, they traded Christian McCaffrey, and then morale could not have been a bit lower. Obviously, there were some people who felt like, you know what, this is the right decision long term, but who knew it was the right decision short term? Who knew that trading Christian McCaffrey, who was the focal point of the offense, I think makes about 85% of the offensive plays, offensive yardage on this team, who knew that getting rid of him realized to Ben McAdoo and the rest of the team that, hey, there's some other guys on this team who could perform. DJ Moore, who would have known? Deontay Foreman, who would have known? Chuba Hubbard, who would have known? Tommy Tremble, where the hell's this guy been? I'm obviously being sarcastic. This has always been a pretty good team on offense. Sheena Quick on Twitter said last week, how are you guys not surprised that this offense is not performing? They have an improved offensive line. They have weapons all over the place. It's just about the execution and who is giving them the ball. Or maybe people just they have to feel like they have to. If Christian McCaffrey, who's 22, is there, you got to give him the ball because he's the best player on their team, because he can have breakout plays. But as we've learned today, there are multiple players on this team who could do exactly that. It just took the right quarterback. Not saying PJ is the right guy, but it's just all about just having a plan, sticking with it, and then trusting the dogs you have on your team. And clearly, I don't know why it took this long. They've been talking about it literally in the offseason that they need to be a run-heavy team. Take a look at this. Chuba Hubbard. Okay, let's talk about the amount of rushes right now. So you got 17 plus 9 is 28. So 29 rushes total from this team. Deontay Foreman explodes. This is the most carries this dude has gotten all year with 15. He should have had 15 rushes, 2 catches. This is the way it should have been since day one. Christian McCaffrey gets a boatload, but then you got Deontay Foreman, and then you got Chuba Hubbard, who had 9 rushes for 63 yards, longest for 17, and a touchdown before he got injured. But Deontay Foreman, this guy should have been splitting the carries like this with 15 and 15 with Christian McCaffrey this entire time. 15 rushes, 118 yards, 7.9 yards a carry, 60-yard long for his longest run. Why did it take trading Christian McCaffrey to figure that out? Imagine the dilemma defense would have to deal with Christian McCaffrey and Deontay Foreman, and then put in Chuba Hubbard there. Again, as I said, had a touchdown. DJ Moore, who felt like had his first receiving touchdown. Is it the first receiving touchdown of the year? It must be. DJ Moore, 1 touchdown. Check your stats. 1 touchdown. Is that for the year? Are you kidding me? That's insane. Anyway, it didn't have to get like this. But somehow it took getting rid of your head coach, getting rid of a subpar wide receiver, and getting rid of the best player on your team for this offense to finally wake up against a team that has no scrubs with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get guys like DJ Moore into pay dirt, Tommy Tremble into pay dirt, Chuba Hubbard into pay dirt, and to finally give the ball to Deontay Foreman. I don't know why it took this long, but it happened. Carolina Panthers win 21-3. They are now 2-5. And with the Detroit Lions losing in pretty shocking fashion against the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders, now take on the Houston Texans. Both teams with 1 win. One of those guys is going to come away with 1 win still, and then another loss in the column unless there's another tie there for the Texans. The Panthers, as we speak, for those who will care about this stuff, including yours truly, Panthers are now picking third, not sixth, third in the 2023 NFL draft. They used to be first. Now, right now, it's the Detroit Lions, who are definitely in the quarterback market. Then the Las Vegas Raiders, who could be in the quarterback market, brand new coach. And then it's the Carolina Panthers. So, say what you want. Say what you want. There's got to be at least 5% of you that wished, damn it. Because I know you guys watch college football like I did last night. Yeah, CJ Stroud had a very slow start to the game against Iowa. Had some really dumb plays. Ended up getting like 4 or 5 touchdowns. And then Bryce Young showing that he's a completely different type of player. Not saying he's better, not worse. Definitely more exciting. 100%, as I said in the last episode. Check that out. But you got to be watching those games and being like, whew, that could be a lot of fun in Charlotte. 100%. And then the juxtaposition of you want your team not to be in the national embarrassment, which has been the last couple of weeks now, to beat Tampa and to beat Tom Brady, who's going through some stuff. But shoot, does he retire after this? I don't know. That's for First Take to try to figure out. But so the Panthers, as we speak, are picking third overall in the 2023 NFL draft. And the rest of their schedule, guys, not saying this changes anything, but they take on the Cardinals. Sorry, that's another bird. They take on the Falcons, then the Bengals, who exploded against the Atlanta Falcons, and then they take on the Falcons again, and then the Ravens, who are so-so right now, and then the Broncos, who genuinely suck. Then they got a bye. Then they take on the Seahawks, who are surprising people, pretty competent, and then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers in Charlotte. They just beat the Bucs last week, and then you got the Lions, and then you got the Bucs, and then you got the Saints. I mean, you could say that they split the series against the Falcons, so that's 1-1, so that's 3 wins now. You say they lose against Baltimore, which I think I said they were going to do in the schedule release. And you could say that they, depending on who's quarterbacking the Broncos, they could be the Broncos. Let's be optimistic. That's 4 wins. And then they lose to the Seahawks. And then they, the defense for this shit. Let's say they win that. That's 5 wins. And then they're at home against the Lions. That's 6 wins. Then they lose against Tampa and then lose against the Saints. That's 6 wins for the Carolina Panthers potentially for this year. That's more than they've had in the last 2 seasons. Let's take a look at the Detroit Lions schedule, because they're not really beating people right now. Like, they got shut out against the Patriots 2 weeks ago, and then they got beat the F up by the Cowboys. Let's take a look who they got now. They got the Dolphins now. That's a loss. Packers, loss. Bears, ooh, that could be a win. Giants, loss. Bills, loss. Jags, loss. Vikings, loss. Jets, loss. Panthers, as I said, loss. Bears, I said they split that series, win. Packers, loss. So, if that's the case, so that's what? How many losses did I say? So they got 1 win. And they got 2 wins. 2 wins compared to a possible 6 for the Carolina Panthers. That means the Panthers are not picking first overall. Football Outsider says the Panthers have a 42.8% chance of them picking first overall. If that, that's still not a majority. There's still over 50% chance they're not. And if that's how the season plays out for the Lions, they could surprise people. You never know in the NFL. NFL stands for not for long. You might not suck for long. You might not be great for long. But as it stands right now, the Detroit Lions are picking first overall. Looking at the schedule, like a non-analytical person as myself, not a statistician, they would probably pick first overall. That means they have their pick of your CJ Strouds, of your Bryce Youngs, of your Will Andersons if they want to go that route. Maybe they like Jared Goff. I highly doubt they do. Now, if the Panthers are picking third, then you got 2 quarterback-needy teams. I don't know what you can trade to those guys to move up. You'd have to trade for future first. You have to really believe in any of these quarterbacks. But that's what's going to make this fun. That's what's going to make you coming back every single week. Because you know when they take on the Dirty Birds now, it's going to be must-watch television. Not just because of the black helmets. 98% because of the black helmets. But you're going to see it. The Panthers are going to win again. You're going to win back-to-back games with Steve Wilkes. What the hell's going on? So, if you're probably wondering why am I yelling, it's because no one's home. So I could actually talk a little bit louder now. This is my normal tone. This is how I normally talk before Panthers Post even existed. People are like, who the fuck is this Panthers guy? But shout out to Steve Wilkes. Shout out to PJ Walker. I'm happy for them. You know, we know that Steve Wilkes was in a really crappy position. basically set up to fail. As I called it, institutionalized tanking. J.C. Horn not playing again today because of ribs. And, shout out to him for overcoming that, not giving a fuck. He doesn't care about he's like the opposite. He's kind of like the same thing as the Los Angeles Rams with the t-shirts say, fuck those picks. That's how Steve Wilkes says, fuck those picks. I don't care about the first overall pick. It's not like I'm picking them. I'm not going to be picking that first overall pick for the Panthers. Fuck that noise. I'm going to be somewhere else most likely. Or maybe the DB's coach again under a new regime here in Charlotte. Here in Charlotte. There in Charlotte. Guys, this is a tryout for him to continue his head coaching career in the NFL. This is an audition for PJ Walker to continue his life as a professional football player, potentially as a starter. Guys like Terrace Marshall, shouts to him, some nice tough catches out there. Finally, seeing him do his thing, stepping into the light. Like you can see now when people are saying that they had Rule guys. I didn't know this. I didn't know Matt Rule bailed out Robbie Anderson, who was basically kicked out of the University of Temple and then brought back. I didn't know that. So he owes him something. And so was it Rule keeping Robbie in spite of the greatness that Terrace Marshall could have, but we never know? They just wouldn't give him a shot. Like, where's Rashad Higgins at? Like, is this all Rule stuff? Maybe not. But did you have to get rid of Robbie and CMC to realize all this stuff that was possible with this offense? But shout out to Terrace Marshall. Shout out to Deontay Foreman. I've been saying since day one, like, you paid this guy money. Use him. Chuba Hubbard played super well before he got hurt. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Offensive line stepped up. Like, that's going to be a big selling point for whoever's going to be coaching this team next year, that they have a strengthened offensive line, a better offensive line. It's going to be even better next year if they sign Bradley Bozeman long term. Kind of, is it a coincidence that Bradley Bozeman is starting at center and they do really well on the run game? Who knows? And then also DJ Moore being a leader on the team. They are not trading him away. All the guys that were trade bait this week, Brian Burns, DJ Moore, like played the hell out of that game. I don't know what else to call it. They just played great. If anything, it just probably added another first overall pick to try to pick another first round pick to try to get Brian Burns. First it was 2, and then now it's probably going to be 3. DJ Moore's not going anywhere. Hook him up with a rookie wide receiver. I think it could be a match made in heaven along with Terrace Marshall. I don't think Shi Smith's going to be on the team next year. Sorry. Shout out to Tommy Tremble. People have been dogging the tight end group, including myself, all year long. Shouts to them just stepping up and doing their thing there. And good job. Good job all around. And now it's almost like Panthers are on a winning streak right now because now they rock the black helmets. Who's not going to love that? Let me know how you feel about this game in the comments below. Are you upset that they won? Now they're not picking first overall as of right now. They could pick second if the Raiders win, which they probably will against the Texans. So the Texans will be 1-4-1. So that tie still kind of counts. So the Panthers then be picking second overall. Let me know if you were watching college football over the weekend like I was. And then who are you salivating over at the moment? For me, the hot hand is Bryce Young because he's more exciting. CJ Moore gets the job done, though. CJ Stroud gets the job done. So I don't know. Depends what you want. Let me know. Make sure to like, subscribe, spread the word. See you guys midweek.